Blog Talk Radio.
Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the show. Thanks for joining me tonight on Off Limits. Tonight we're having Brain Purge Thursday. So if you are joining me and you've been on my show before or been to my show, you know my Brain Purge shows are just me kind of talking about whatever is on my mind, whatever's going on in the news, whatever I feel like it. Some rambling, just kind of stream of consciousness type thing. So interspersed with some music. So if you have something to say, you can always call in during the show at 323-843-6160. Otherwise, I'll be playing music and just talking about what is on my mind. By the way, here in Texas, I live in Dallas, we had huge, enormous tornadoes and storms tonight, and over like 100 people were killed or something, or I don't know, maybe like 10 people were killed and 100 were injured or something like that. So fortunately, it was like 10 miles south of us in Dallas here. We live in Dallas, North Dallas, but it was like south of downtown, so we weren't in this path. There was like complete destruction in some places. It was really bad. But there's like tons of rain, and the sirens are going off over by us and everything, so it's kind of scary. And hail and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, living in fucking Texas, I hate Texas. There's absolutely nothing I like about it except the fact that my family and friends are here, and I was born and raised here. That's pretty much the only reason I am still here. I just kind of stay here, and don't know why. Well, yeah, I do. I have very deep roots here. Like I said, family, friends, a business, well, several businesses, as well as a house, and you know, just I don't know. It's not something I can just pick up and leave. So I'll still probably be here when I'm 80 or 90 years old, if I live that long, unfortunately, and probably still be saying the same thing. I hate fucking Texas. But maybe by then it will have changed for the better, because honestly, it is, you know, it's getting a little better here. I mean, generally, Dallas is getting more and more liberal, slowly but surely, but it's getting a little more liberal, little by little. So that's good. It is still a highly conservative place that I live in, Dallas, Texas. Texas as a whole is highly conservative. And, you know, I'm definitely more of a San Francisco hippie type or New York artsy type or whatever than I am a backwoods, you know, Ken doll or whatever. So I certainly am, never felt like I really belonged here. And so I keep saying I'm going to leave, but I never do. I'm still here for all the reasons I just mentioned, so whatever. what are you going to do about it, right? It is what it is. So anyway, but there's a few things in the news this week. Today I read about that I wanted to talk a little bit about. Really kind of a slow news day, generally speaking. Nothing major, other than, of course, as I said, the huge tornado that hit us here tonight. There have been several things about the... hello, something's going on with my computer here. Let's see. Hopefully people can still hear me. Anyway, there's been several things going on with the garment industry lately. I'm sure all of you heard about, Abercrombie & Fitch and the CEO or whatever, the founder, talking about he only wants certain people to wear his clothes and no fat people or whatever, what have you. But he's also a contributor to what's going on abroad, and a lot of brands are, because the problem is that these brands, like Abercrombie & Fitch and the Gap, and even very high-end brands like Kenneth Cole or Gucci. I mean, anything, even things that are made in Italy usually. There are things today being made, of course, in China, in Cambodia, Thailand, whatever, places like that. So I'm not really sure what is going on with all of that in terms of, why people are allowing it to continue. And the reason it's a bad thing is that, people in those countries work for very, very little money. Whereas here in the United States, you can get people who work for maybe, $8 an hour or something, okay? There, people are working for like 50 cents an hour or 5 cents an hour relative to our dollar anyway. So it is certainly an unfair thing that people are forced to work, and the conditions in which they work are horrendous and really bad. They will be forced to, essentially they're sweatshops. And also there's a ton of child labor because they don't have child labor laws in a lot of these countries like they do here in the United States. And so kids are forced to work to death for nothing, essentially, so that we Americans, wealthy Americans, can have our cheap shoes and our cheap toys, our cheap iPhones, and whatever else it is that we take advantage of them with. So unfortunately, it is an issue, and it continues to be. And the reason it's happening is because major corporations are outsourcing these things to other countries to get around paying people, health benefits and things like that. So they get the same kind of, service for very little money. And all corporations give a shit about is their bottom line. They don't care about anything but their bottom line. They don't care about who they're hurting. They don't care about the child labor laws, like I mentioned, or that they're not getting a living wage. They don't give a shit about any of that stuff. So it's a way to circumvent that, and they have no conscience. So if you have a conscience, when you're buying your Nikes, which I just bought a pair this last weekend, on Sunday, on Mother's Day, if you're buying your Nikes or you're buying your Gucci or your Kenneth Cole or Marc Jacobs or whatever it is that you like to buy, your purses or shoes or whatever, you have to realize that almost everything today is made under those circumstances. And because of that, people are suffering. So, because I forget about it, because I am, a selfish American who, like most Americans, we just think about ourselves and we don't give a shit about the rest of the world. Of course I care about the rest of the world. I do. But most of us don't even think about it when